Emotional closeness is not something that appears suddenly. It grows in the quiet, unspoken spaces between two people, through glances, gestures, silence, and subtle shifts in behavior. For many men, expressing deep emotion doesn't always come through words. Instead, it shows in what they do, in how they respond, and in the ways they begin to make you part of their inner world without ever announcing it out loud. You may not hear the words, "I'm falling for you," or "you matter to me," but you will feel it if you're paying attention. The truth is, when a man starts to emotionally connect, it rarely looks like a romantic movie scene. There's no dramatic confession, no perfectly timed music playing in the background. It's often much softer, quieter, so quiet that if you're not tuned in, you might miss the signs altogether. But they're there. And once you learn to recognize them, you begin to see a deeper story unfolding behind every small moment. He might begin to remember the things you thought he forgot. He might reach out in your silence instead of waiting for you to speak. He might shift from me to we without even noticing it himself. These are not coincidences. These are choices, subtle, consistent, and real. They are signs that your presence is no longer just a detail in his life. It's becoming part of his emotional foundation. And here's something important to understand. When a man allows himself to grow emotionally close, he is risking something. He's letting go of the distance that once kept him safe. He's letting down his guard and showing you a version of himself that maybe no one else has seen before. That kind of closeness isn't casual. It's sacred, and it deserves to be noticed, valued, and understood. This isn't about decoding someone's every move. It's about recognizing the difference between surface-level affection and genuine emotional connection. Because love doesn't always shout, it often whispers, and in those whispers are 15 powerful signs that he's not just interested in you. He's growing closer to you in ways that matter. So if you've been wondering where things really stand, if you feel something shifting but can't quite explain it, this list may be what your heart's been waiting to hear. Let's begin. 1. He opens up about his past. When a man starts opening up about his past, it's often one of the clearest signs he's getting emotionally closer. This action isn't random. It comes from a place of growing trust and emotional comfort. The past, especially the parts that carry weight, is not something people share lightly. When he chooses to let you into that part of his world, it means he's letting his guard down. He's allowing you to see who he really is beyond the present moment. It's not just about sharing events or stories. It's about revealing the feelings, regrets, lessons, and memories that shaped him. Opening up may start slowly, with light memories or casual mentions. But as he grows closer, the things he shares may carry more emotional depth. He might talk about childhood struggles, past heartbreaks, family issues, or moments that changed him. These aren't things people typically share with just anyone. They are reserved for those they see as emotionally significant. He's giving you a glimpse into his unfiltered reality, not the version of himself he shows to the outside world. This level of sharing is a silent gesture of closeness. He is not just trying to make conversation, he's offering pieces of his life to you, trusting that you will receive them with care. It also shows that he values emotional intimacy, not just surface-level connection. The more he lets you in, the more he's signaling that you matter to him. Words might not say, "I'm falling for you," but the willingness to share his past does. Because in those shared moments, what he's really saying is this: you're safe, you matter, and I want you to know the real me. 2. He remembers small details about you. When a man remembers the small details about you, it's a quiet but powerful sign that he is getting emotionally closer. These are not just casual facts anyone could notice. They're things you may have mentioned in passing without expecting him to hold on to them. Maybe it was the name of your childhood pet, your favorite kind of tea, a story you told weeks ago, or even how you like your toast in the morning. These little pieces of information are meaningful because they show that he's not only listening, he's invested. People remember what matters to them. If he's paying attention to the smallest things about you, it's because you're starting to matter to him in a deeper way. This kind of attention doesn't come from obligation. It comes from emotional presence. It means his mind and heart are engaged when he's with you, and even when he's not. He's holding on to the little things because they help him feel closer to you. Your preferences, quirks, and stories aren't just details. They're pieces of you that he's collecting, understanding, and cherishing. When someone remembers the small stuff, it builds emotional safety. You feel seen, understood, valued. It's not about grand romantic gestures. It's about someone showing they care through simple, intentional moments. And often, these are the signs that mean the most, because they're not loud or forced. They're real. His memory of those small details is his way of saying, I'm paying attention because you're important to me. It's emotional closeness without needing to declare it. And sometimes, that quiet care speaks louder than any words ever could. 3. He talks about the future with you in it. When a man starts talking about the future and includes you in it, it's a strong indication that he's becoming emotionally invested. This shift doesn't always come with a big announcement. It can begin subtly through simple phrases like, we should go there someday, or imagine us living in a place like that. These glimpses into the future aren't just daydreams. They are reflections of how he's beginning to see you as a lasting part of his life, including you in his future plans. Whether it's something small like attending an event together next month, or something bigger like travel, career moves, or even building a home, is his way of creating emotional permanence. It shows that he's not just in the moment with you, but he's actively imagining a life where your presence continues to matter. These conversations aren't made lightly. They require a level of emotional comfort, stability, and hope. Hope that the bond you share is worth building upon. When he starts planning things more around you or using we more than I, it means you've become part of his vision. It may not be a formal promise, but it's a quiet declaration that he sees potential in what you're sharing. Emotional closeness often shows up in this way, not with dramatic confessions, but with consistent thoughts of togetherness. Talking about the future with you in it shows he's not just experiencing connection, he's committing to it, even if he hasn't said the words out loud. And in those subtle moments, you begin to see that what you have is not temporary. It's something he's beginning to hold on to. 4. He shares his fears and insecurities. When a man begins to share his fears and insecurities with you, it's a deeply emotional sign that he is growing closer. These parts of him are often hidden from the world, protected, guarded, sometimes even denied. Opening that vulnerable space isn't easy, especially for someone who's been taught to be strong, silent, or in control. So when he allows you to see the things that make him feel small, uncertain, or exposed, it means he trusts you on a level that goes far beyond casual connection. This kind of emotional honesty doesn't happen overnight. It grows in the quiet safety of being understood. It might come out in fragments, a late-night conversation, a moment of silence that turns into truth, or even in something simple like the words, "Sometimes I don't feel good enough." These moments are not weakness. They're acts of courage. He's handing you something fragile, saying without words, "This is the part of me I don't show everyone." Sharing fears isn't about needing solutions. It's about needing to be seen without being judged. If he's opening up about what hurts, what keeps him up at night, or what he's afraid to lose, it means he sees you as someone safe enough to hold those truths. That kind of vulnerability is sacred. It marks the point where the relationship moves from surface to soul. And in choosing to be that real with you, he's not just revealing who he is, he's showing how deeply he wants to be known, not just loved. That's emotional closeness in its rawest, most human form. 5. He becomes more physically affectionate. When a man becomes more physically affectionate, especially in gentle, thoughtful ways, it often signals a deeper emotional connection forming beneath the surface. Physical touch, when rooted in emotion rather than impulse, becomes a quiet language of closeness. It's no longer just about attraction, it becomes about comfort, presence, and care. A touch on your back as you walk together, holding your hand without needing a reason, resting his head near yours, or simply staying close to you. These actions carry meaning without the need for explanation. This kind of affection isn't always dramatic or grand. It can be subtle, even soft, but it's consistent. He might reach for your hand during silence, pull you closer during a quiet moment, or rest his arm around you as if your presence gives him peace. These gestures aren't calculated, they're instinctive. His body naturally wants to be near you, not just out of desire, but out of emotional comfort. It's how he says, "I'm here," without speaking. When physical affection grows along with emotional connection, it becomes nurturing. It's not about taking, it's about giving. Giving reassurance, giving warmth, giving presence. He becomes more aware of how his touch affects you, how it can calm, support, or connect. It's not always about romance. It's about tenderness. And that tenderness says more than words ever could. In every small act of physical closeness, he is telling you something his mouth may still be too shy to say. You make me feel safe. You make me feel seen. I want to be near you, not just physically, but emotionally too. 6. He checks in on your feelings. When a man starts checking in on your feelings, it's a clear sign that he's becoming emotionally invested. He's not just interested in what you're doing, he cares about how you're feeling. That shift is powerful. It means your emotional state matters to him, and he wants to be part of your internal world, not just the external one. Whether it's a simple, "Are you okay?" or a deeper, "You seemed quiet today, what's on your mind?" These questions come from a place of genuine care. He pays attention to your mood, your energy, the little changes in your voice or expression. And when he notices something feels off, he doesn't ignore it. He gently reaches out. This kind of emotional awareness doesn't come from obligation. It comes from connection, from wanting to be there. It means he's not just showing up when things are fun or easy. He's willing to show up when you're not okay too. Checking in on your feelings also shows emotional maturity. He understands that relationships aren't just about what's said. They're about how people feel underneath it all. And by asking, by caring, by holding space for your emotions, he's building trust between you. It tells you that you don't have to hide your bad days, your doubts, or your vulnerabilities. You can be real. You can feel seen. When a man does this consistently, it's not just kindness, it's intimacy. It's his way of saying, "You matter to me, even when you're not smiling, especially then." That kind of emotional closeness is rare, and when it starts to show, you know his heart is not just near, you're already in it. 7. He wants to spend more time with you. When a man wants to spend more time with you, it's one of the clearest signs that he's growing emotionally closer. Time is one of the most valuable things anyone can offer. And when he chooses to give more of it to you without being asked or obligated, it means you're becoming a priority in his life. It's not just about the big moments or planned dates. It's about the little quiet moments too. Wanting to be around you just to sit, talk, laugh, or even do nothing at all. That's where the emotional bond deepens. You'll notice he starts looking for ways to include you in his day, whether it's suggesting you grab coffee, run errands together, watch something he likes, or join him in something he enjoys. He's not just trying to fill time, he's trying to build shared time. That's different. It's a subtle way of weaving you into the rhythm of his life. The more he enjoys your presence, the more he'll naturally seek it out. not because he has to, but because being with you makes him feel more at peace, more connected, more himself. This desire to be near you, even when there's no clear reason, shows emotional presence. He could be doing anything else, but he chooses you. And not just when things are exciting, but also in the everyday moments. That's when it becomes real. It means the bond isn't based on drama or novelty. It's rooted in comfort, trust, and closeness. Wanting to spend more time with someone is never just about passing hours. It's a quiet way of saying, you make life feel better when you're around. 8. He introduces you to people who matter to him. When a man introduces you to the people who matter to him, his close friends, his family, or even trusted co-workers, it's a meaningful sign that he's growing emotionally closer. These aren't just introductions for the sake of formality. They're invitations into his world, a way of saying, you're important enough to be part of my inner circle. Most people keep their private relationships separate from the people they truly value, at least until something feels serious. So when he begins to bridge that gap, it means he sees you as more than a passing connection. These moments may seem casual on the surface, but they carry quiet significance. It shows he's proud to have you by his side, that he wants others to see who you are, and that your presence in his life is something he's not hiding. It also reveals a certain kind of confidence. He's comfortable enough with the bond you share that he's willing to share it with others. This step also deepens emotional vulnerability. Introducing someone to people who matter is exposing a personal side of life that's often guarded. It's trusting that you'll see who he is in those relationships and that you'll still care. Whether he brings you to a dinner with friends or simply mentions your name to his parents, these acts are signals that he's slowly folding you into the fabric of his real life. At its core, this is more than social connection. It's emotional investment. It's him saying, you're not just someone I talk to, you're someone I want others to know. And in that gesture, without needing big words or promises, he's telling you that you're becoming part of something deeper and more lasting. 9. He talks to you when he's upset. When a man talks to you when he's upset, it's a powerful indicator that he's emotionally opening up and growing closer to you. For many men, sharing difficult emotions like frustration, sadness, anger, or disappointment isn't something they do easily. Society often teaches them to stay silent, to deal with their struggles alone. So when he chooses to let you in during those low or vulnerable moments, it means he trusts you on a deeper level than most. Turning to you when he's upset doesn't just mean he needs someone to vent to. It means he sees you as someone safe, someone who can hold space for his feelings without judgment. Instead of retreating or shutting down, he invites you into the emotional storm he's facing. That's not just about comfort, it's about connection. It shows that your presence soothes something inside him, that your voice, or simply your being, brings a sense of calm or clarity when he's lost in his own emotions. Sometimes the things he shares won't be polished or easy to explain. It might be quiet words, heavy sighs, or even just sitting in silence beside you. But the fact that he chooses you in those moments speaks volumes. He's letting his walls down. He's showing that he doesn't have to pretend around you. That even in his messiest, most human state, he feels accepted. This level of emotional openness is sacred. It means he's not just growing close physically or through fun and laughter. He's allowing himself to be real with you when it's hard. That's where true intimacy lives. Not in perfection, but in the willingness to be seen when everything inside feels broken. And when he shares that space with you, it's his way of silently saying, I trust you with the parts I don't show anyone else. 10. He listens without judgment. When a man listens to you without judgment, it's a quiet but deeply meaningful sign that he's becoming emotionally close to you. True listening isn't just about hearing words. It's about holding space for someone's truth without trying to fix, criticize, or control it. When he listens without interrupting, without turning the conversation back to himself, and without making you feel small or wrong, he's showing a kind of emotional maturity that few people offer freely. This kind of listening creates a safe environment, one where you feel seen and understood. It means you can share your thoughts, your fears, your past, even your mistakes, and know that you won't be met with cold analysis or harsh reaction. Instead, he offers presence. He may not always have the perfect response, but his attention is full, and his silence feels supportive rather than distant. That's when you know it's not just about what you're saying, it's about who you are to him. By listening without judgment, he's proving that he values your feelings more than his opinions. It means he's not there to win an argument or prove a point. He's there because he wants to understand what's on your heart. And understanding, especially when it's extended without criticism, is one of the deepest forms of love and emotional closeness. It also shows he's patient with your process. He doesn't rush you or expect you to be perfect. He's willing to sit with your confusion, your emotion, your silence, and wait until you feel ready to express. That patience, that gentle presence, says more than any grand gesture could. It says, I see you, I hear you, and I'm not going anywhere. And in a world full of noise, that kind of listening becomes a powerful act of love. 11. He starts using we instead of I. When a man starts using we instead of I, it's a subtle but meaningful sign that his mindset is shifting from individual to shared connection. This change in language may seem small, but it carries emotional weight. It means he's no longer thinking of himself as just one person walking through life alone. He's beginning to see you as part of his path, his choices, and his future. The word we includes you, and that inclusion is not accidental. It reflects a growing bond, a sense of unity, and a desire to move through the world as a team. You might hear it when he talks about plans. We should go there, or we'd love that place, or in decisions, we need to figure this out. Each time he says it, he's drawing you into his life in a quiet but lasting way. He's no longer navigating everything as a separate person. He's instinctively factoring you in, emotionally and practically. It becomes natural, not forced. And that natural use of we signals comfort, trust, and a deepening sense of belonging. This kind of language shift often happens when emotional closeness reaches a new level. It shows that he's no longer guarding his independence with walls. Instead, he's inviting you into the space where decisions are made, where life unfolds. He may not even notice he's doing it, but you will, and it will feel like something small that means something big. Because when someone begins to say we without hesitation, what they're really saying is, you're part of my life now, not just today, but moving forward. And that kind of inclusion is one of the strongest signs that emotional intimacy is taking root. 12. He's honest even when it's hard. When a man is honest with you, even when it's hard, it's a powerful reflection of emotional closeness and respect. Telling the truth, especially when it's uncomfortable, uncertain, or risks conflict, isn't easy. It requires vulnerability, courage, and a deep desire to build something real. If he chooses honesty in moments where silence would be easier, or sugarcoating would avoid tension, it means he values the connection more than his own comfort. Hard honesty can show up in many forms. Maybe he admits when he's feeling insecure. Maybe he tells you how something you said affected him. Or maybe he shares a truth about his past that isn't flattering, but still important for you to know. These moments aren't about being perfect. They're about being real. And realness, even when messy, is a foundation for trust. When someone tells you the truth without trying to control how you'll react, it means they're offering their heart without a mask. This level of honesty also shows emotional maturity. It means he isn't trying to protect his image. He's trying to protect the connection. He knows that lies or half-truths might temporarily avoid pain, but they create distance in the long run, and distance is the last thing he wants with you. So even if it makes him feel exposed, he chooses to be open, because you matter to him more than his ego does. Being honest when it's hard is one of the deepest signs of respect. It says, I trust you enough to be fully myself. It says, I believe we're strong enough to handle the truth. And most of all, it says, this relationship means enough to me that I won't hide from it. In that kind of truth, love doesn't weaken, it grows. 13. He makes you feel emotionally safe. When a man makes you feel emotionally safe, it means he's offering something rare and deeply valuable. A space where you can simply be yourself without fear of being judged, dismissed, or misunderstood. Emotional safety isn't about fixing problems or always knowing the right words. It's about presence, consistency, and the way he responds to your vulnerability with calm and care. When he makes you feel safe, you don't have to pretend, shrink yourself, or walk on eggshells. You're allowed to feel fully, honestly, and without shame. You begin to notice that your emotions are not too much for him. Whether you're feeling joyful, anxious, sad, or unsure, he stays present. He doesn't make your feelings about him, and he doesn't use them against you. Instead, he listens. He stays patient. He holds space for you to unravel, and then gently helps you gather the pieces. This kind of emotional steadiness becomes a quiet anchor, one that allows trust to grow deeper every day. Feeling emotionally safe with someone means knowing that even in moments of disagreement or tension, you won't be punished with silence, cruelty, or manipulation. It means he won't weaponize your vulnerability or walk away when things get hard. His emotional presence remains even when things are uncomfortable. That reliability builds a kind of security that words alone can't create. When a man offers this kind of safety, it's one of the clearest signs that he's emotionally connected and serious about you. It shows he values your heart, not just your presence. And in that security, something powerful happens. You begin to open up more, trust more, love more. Because where there is emotional safety, love doesn't just survive, it thrives. 14. He supports your dreams and goals. When a man supports your dreams and goals, it's a sign that he's emotionally invested in you, not just in the relationship, but in your growth, your purpose, and the person you are becoming. He doesn't just admire you for who you are today, he believes in who you can be tomorrow. This kind of support goes beyond surface-level compliments. It shows up in the way he listens when you talk about your ideas, the way he encourages you when you feel uncertain, and the way he stands beside you when the path gets difficult. His support isn't loud or flashy, it's steady. He celebrates your wins, no matter how small, and reminds you of your strength when you doubt yourself. He asks about your progress, shows interest in your passions, and offers help when you need it. Sometimes, support looks like giving you space to work. Other times, it means reminding you why you started in the first place. No matter how it appears, the message is always the same. I believe in you. This kind of support builds emotional intimacy because it shows that he's not threatened by your ambition. He's inspired by it. He doesn't try to dim your light to make himself more comfortable. Instead, he helps you shine brighter. That kind of love is rooted in mutual respect, where both people lift each other rather than compete or control. When a man supports your goals, he's showing that your happiness matters to him, even when it's not directly tied to him. That selfless kind of encouragement reflects deep emotional connection, and in that support, you feel seen, not just for who you are today, but for everything you're capable of becoming. 15. He shows you his vulnerable side. When a man shows you his vulnerable side, it's one of the most intimate and powerful signs that he's growing emotionally close to you. Vulnerability isn't something most people give away easily, especially not men who have been taught to hide their softness behind strength or silence. So when he opens up the parts of himself that feel tender, uncertain, or even broken, it means he trusts you in a way that goes beyond words. He's not just showing you the version of himself that's strong or confident. He's showing you the parts that feel deeply human. This vulnerability can appear in many quiet ways. It might be in the way his voice softens when talking about something painful. It might be in the look he gives you when he doesn't know what to say but wants you to understand. Or it might be in the rare moments he admits he's scared, unsure, or still healing from things he rarely talks about. These moments aren't weaknesses, they're gifts. They are pieces of truth, offered not for sympathy, but for closeness. By showing his vulnerable side, he's not just letting you in, he's letting you see him fully. Not the edited version, not the version built for the outside world, but the one that exists behind closed doors, where honesty lives. And in doing so, he's saying something silently but profoundly. You're someone I trust with the parts of me no one else sees. That kind of openness deepens connection in ways no grand gesture can. Because when someone is brave enough to show their truth, it creates a space where real love can grow. A space where strength is not in hiding, but in being known. And in that space, you find not just affection, but something rare, sacred, and lasting.